If you recall, the linear regression equation which we had discussed, presented was in the simplest form of y equal to a plus bx, where x is the independent variable and usually this is known. Okay, and y is the dependent, which often we also call criterion variable, which is mostly unknown. Just to save time, I can tell you that how much rainfall might happen tomorrow. That depends on some parameters. Okay, I think we had discussed earlier in the previous classes, maybe like humidity, maybe like atmospheric pressure, and we got some other independent variable factors, right, which you don't know. So using the amount of those independent factors, x values, we'll try to predict what happens on y. Okay, so we find what be y for given value of x. Okay, now suppose you know y and we don't know x. How do we solve that? Any suggestion? Y is known and we want to estimate x. How do you do that? I think I'm asking you only, not to the stars or trees or the animals.
So y minus a by
Sir, y
b.
minus yes, sir, by solving the equation y minus a
Yes,
by
sir.
b.
This equation is line of best fit. If you have heard this term in the example that we have so far discussed, sir, and this is best for estimating y or given value of x. Please remember, this is unique and not interchangeable. The meaning is, if you want to estimate x or given value of y, you cannot use this. You have to have another special equation which is also should be line of best fit. So with this, I'm introducing for this time, for the first time, linear regressions are actually of two types. There are two regression equations that can be thought of. Okay, one is called regression equation of y on x, and this is the equation of y on x. This should have been expressed in the form y minus y bar equals to r into sigma y by sigma x whole into x minus x. Here, this factor, which is multiplied to x values, is nothing but the regression coefficient of y on x, or in short, we can write b y x, or simply write b1. The formula is Aliva r into sigma y by sigma x, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a regression equation of y on x, right? Aliva, now tell me, similarly, we can have the other equation which is regression equation of x on y. The way we have written here, can you have a look? Can you guess what would be the equation, other equation? Start quick.
Sir, x minus x bar
Very good. Equals to,
r into
yes,
sigma x by sigma y
very good. So logically, all of you should think like this, or into y minus 1.
y bar.
Okay, so this is what?
Regression equation of x on y.
Regression coefficient, not equation.
Sorry, sir. Coefficient.
Regression coefficient of x and y. You can write
Dxy.
r into sigma x by sigma. All of you have written? Okay. Now these two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. These are the two regression equations which should not be interchangeable. Okay. The meaning is, if you want to estimate y, you have to use the first one. If you want to estimate x, you have to use only the second equation, right? Hope all of you have written these two equations. Now, let me try to give you some properties of regression coefficients. All of you, please write the properties of regression coefficients. Hope all of you had written the coefficients. Bhaskar, if I'm writing here, product of two regression coefficients will be equal to how much? Quick, if you can guess. Aliva, Bhaskar, Aliva, Ashish, anybody?
One.
Sir.
R square.
Very good.
R square.
R square.
It is 1. You are forgetting, Bhaskar, what is the formula you have written?
Sir, R square.
Sigma will be cancelled, so it will be r square.
Yes.
Easy. Okay. All of you hope you have understood what is the property here. Now, second property, both regression coefficients will necessarily have the same sign. Why? Who can tell that? Quick. Quick.
Because the slope will remain same.
Anirban, the coefficient formula you have written,
Yes, sir.
that sigma x, sigma y, they are the standard deviation. They can
Yes, sir.
never be negative. So the sign will depend on the correlation coefficient, right? In both the formula, R is common. You agree with me, Anirban and others? Samhita Panigrahi?
Yes, sir.
R, Samhita Panigrahi or Swatiparna Panigrahi, R cannot be negative, right? So Swatiparna,
It can be new.
Samhita, Ruple, Swati, I think R
Yes,
cannot
sir.
be negative, right?
No, sir. Can be
I'm
new.
just checking whether you are alert, awake or not. R can be negative, right? If it is negative, regression coefficient will be negative. Okay, if it is positive, it is positive. So thus, regression coefficients will have the same sign. Okay. Now third is really a bit more interesting. All of you concentrate. I'll ask why it's so. If
Can you describe it again?
I'll come back again.
Okay.
Listen, concentrate to my third property. If one regression coefficient is greater than 1, then the other must be less than. Why? First you answer my point, then I'll take up your query, Ashish Paikra. Chandita, Itisri, Khushbu, anybody?
Sir, because it will be reciprocal. Because simultaneously.
Look to the first property, only one. Product is R square. R square, R is having any limit, only one. सुना है R का limit है या नहीं? What is
No,
R?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Aliva Mishra, what is the limit for R? What is R?
Minus 1 to
minus
1.
Minus 1 to
Yes.
First one. So what is the square? Square will be more than
Oh,
that or
square.
within that range?
Sir, within that range.
Within that range.
R square cannot exceed 1.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So because of property number 1, if regression coefficient 1, you get by chance more than 1, then other must have to be less than 1, so that the product is within 1. All of you clear? All of you listen. Now, कहानी भी बाकी है, अलीवा मिश्रा, अभी तो ट्रेलर है, main movie is coming. Now what I'm writing here, but inverse may not be true. What is the meaning of inverse may not be true, Aliva?
So means if one regression coefficient is less than 1, then it is not necessary that the other one will be greater than 1.
Shivanishwaro, quote Aliva Mishra what she told.
Sir, if the regression coefficient is less than 1, then it is not necessary that the other one will be greater than 1.
Good. Very good. Tarini Mahanti, then Avilas Panda in that order. Summarize third property.
Sir, it is said that if the reverse coefficient is greater than 1, then then it is not necessary that the other coefficient will be greater than 1.
No, you are telling the wrong thing.
Sorry, less than 1.
Shreya Sarkar, Shreya, respond or summarize property number 3.
If one regression coefficient is less than 1, it is not necessary that the other will be more than 1.
You are not audible. Trushita, then Sarada in that order. Trushita, you are there? Trushita,
Yes, sir, but facing network issues.
Sarada,
Sir, if one regression coefficient is greater than 1, then the other one should be less than 1. But if one regression coefficient is less than 1, then it is not necessary that other one will be greater than 1.
all of you clear? Anybody having doubt? अगर एक छोटा है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, दूसरा can be small or not. Okay, Ashish, you had a doubt?
Sir, second one, sir.
Second one, the sign will be the same, no? If first coefficient is negative, second has to be negative. If first coefficient is positive, second has to be positive, because both the regression coefficient formula have a component R. R is correlation coefficient. Same component is there. अगर correlation coefficient हमारा negative है, तो दोनों regression coefficient negative.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है? All of it clear? Now, please recall the question. Having discussed that, hope my screen is visible and the questions are perhaps like this. Is that okay, Aliva, Sarada?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before I solve this question, let me also tell you, please also note, as we have suggested two regression lines, if you plot them, both will intersect at a point. And this point of intersection is nothing but their respective averages, x bar, y. How do we find point of intersection of two equations, Bhaskar? Then Khushbu.
Sir, we solve the two equations
To solve
simultaneously.
both equations simultaneously, the answer is nothing but the averages, right? Sandita Mishra, what are the two bit questions of the question? Have you got that? Sandita, then Nityasri. What we have to do in this question?
Sir, first we find the y equals to a plus bx.
तो कहाँ पर है? You are in our planet or you have gone to moon or Mars? Nityasri, in this question, what are the bit questions? Sunit Acharya, कोई तो बोलो जल्दी unmute करके. अरे
Sir, we have to find coefficient of correlation and average.
Sandita, come back to our planet. Our planet is better. You have to find correlation coefficient and also the averages, right? Now, if you get this type of question, you have no option but to randomly assume one as regression equation of y on x and the other as regression equation of x on y, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll be writing let the first equation be the regression equation of y on x, right? Ashish Bhai, help me. ये फर्स्ट इक्वेशन को हमने assume किया y on x. So
Yes, sir.
only y on left hand side, बाकी सब right hand side में. बोल.
Sir, y equals to 16 plus
10x by
10x by 10x plus 16, sir. 3.
minus होगा ना.
Yes, sir. Minus.
Minus होगा sir.
Sir, plus 16 by 3.
All of it clear?
Sir, it will be 10x minus 16. 16 minus 10x, sir.
हाँ वो ना वही तो किया. और क्या
Yes,
किया?
sir.
अभी
Sir, you did plus, sir.
अरे ये तो प्लस हो गया ना. ये हम माइनस
अभी-
दिया ना.
अभी same, sir. Minus 10x.
अच्छा 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 अच्छा
minus लिखा है
अच्छा
मैम.
अच्छा
ठीक है. अभी ये जो x के साथ जो कांस्टेंट है, अभी इसको हम क्या बोल पाएंगे रे? अभी
सर इसको ये इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल होगा सर.
अरे
Slope.
एक तो हमारा प्लानिट को चला रहे. यू आर इन अनदर प्लानिट.
Correlation
B वाली.
coefficient.
अरे
अच्छा,
नो
अच्छा.
कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट, रिग्रेशन कोएफिशिएंट
Oh,
Regression.
sorry,
तो
regression.
बताए थे. रिग्रेशन
हाँ,
ऑफ
sorry,
dy x ना. अरे y on x तो लिया ना. अलीबा, what is the
Yes,
value?
sir, yes.
Minus 10 by 3.
Yes, sir.
Minus 3.33.
Okay. Now, if it is y on x, the second one will be x on y. अभी कभी बोल, keep x on left hand side, बाकी सब right hand side में.
राइट हैंड साइड में होगा सर. सर 16 by 6 minus 5 by 6.
5y by 6 plus 16 by 6, right?
Yes sir.
So here, this coefficient is nothing but bxy,
Yes, sir.
right? Is how much?
Minus 0.83.
Minus 5 by 6. Is that okay? Now all of you concentrate. We got this and this. So these two regression coefficients are okay? Shantanu, Avi,
Yes sir. Okay sir.
Yes,
Okay
sir.
sir.
Shantanu,
No, sir, there is no y, no r, sir. R should be there.
I'm asking regression coefficient. I'm not asking R. So regression coefficients are okay na, Sarada?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Sarada Janbuz के unmute नहीं कर रही है.
Sir,
Sir, is here, you are there. हाँ या ना बोल. Sir, regression coefficient is the R into sigma y by sigma x.
जो भी है, whatever multiplied to the variable, that is regression coefficient.
Then it's okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
हाँ या ना, Sarada?
Yes, sir.
sir, हाँ sir.
Those who have told हाँ, CR भास्कर, इन लोगों का रोल नंबर नोट कर, -2 -2 -2 बाकी खाते में डाल. Have you seen properties?
सर 1 से ज्यादा हो रहा है इनका प्रोडक्ट.
तो क्यों नहीं बोला? हाँ सर, शारदा.
सर एक फर्स्ट का तो 1 से ज्यादा हो रहा है, दो सेकंड का तो 1 से कम हो रहा है.
मल्टीप्लाई करना दोनों को. So this is unacceptable. All of you right. This cannot happen. This is violating the properties. So क्या गड़बड़ हो गया खुशबू?
फर्स्ट इक्वेशन को हम लोग उल्टा लेंगे.
Yes. So our assumption which you have taken trial error method randomly, that assumption is wrong. From this, what is the learning? Anybody who is understanding Aliva, Kushbu, Sambita, what is the learning? Learning here is these two equations are unique and not interchangeable. अगर एक को आप randomly ले सकते हो कि x on y, ना, नहीं होगा. If one is of y on x, that is y on x. नहीं तो it will not satisfy the properties. So all of you write here.
Sir, not understood, sir. Can you repeat?
Sir,
it?
can you?
I'm just coming. Just give me 2 minutes. What I told, these are unique regression equations. They cannot be interchanged. That means, अगर एक है y on x, that particular equation cannot be taken as x on y. वही हमें मिला. ठीक है. Now, so as our assumption, all of you right, turned out to be wrong. Sarada, Ambedkar. So we have to बोल रहे. अभी शारदा कोई तो बोलो.
So we have to assume first equation as x
Other
on
way.
y.
Other way means what?
First one will be
equation
vxy.
x on y.
Second one will be
Will be regression equation of what?
bxy.
X on y.
X on y. Yeah.
अगर x on y है तो x रखो. वन लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में. शारदा जल्दी बोल रहे. बाकी सब राइट हैंड साइड में लिखो. बोलना. -3/10.
-3/10, 3y/10. The
16
-3y
plus
sir.
16/10.
Plus 16/10. Okay. So from this you got bxy equals to -3/10, right? Then next equation will be, अरे कोई तो जल्दी बोलो, टाइम सेव करो.
Sir,
Sir,
-6
16
x by 16 -x.
Y on x to you keep y here, then -6 by
-5 by.
नारे.
-5 by 6.
The 5/6.
अरे y is here ना, -6/5 होगा ना.
हाँ सर.
Yes, sir.
और y 5/6, 6/5 ना. Anybody having confusion? कोई तो हेल्प करो confusion वालों को.
हाँ सर, ठीक है सर.
ठीक है.
Yes,
सर
sir.
-5/6 होगा ना.
Sir, 5/6 होगा ना ये sir.
अरे
6/5.
ठीक है सर. 6/6.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है 6/5.
हाँ sorry, 6/5 होगा.
Okay. So now the regression coefficients are -3/10.
10 -6/5.
Okay. You multiply these two.
18/50 or 0.36.
Square is by property number 1, bxy into byx is equals to how much?
0.36.
0.36. Okay, this implies r will be square root of this. अभी square root of 0.36 how much? जल्दी बोलो.
0.6 +-0.6 sir. Point plus minus 0.06.
प्लस माइनस लिखेंगे.
नहीं सर.
प्लस माइनस लिखेंगे आशीष?
नहीं सर,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Plus.
You are finding what you are finding. R means what?
R is always positive sir.
अभी तेरा क्यूटी टीचर कौन है? क्यूटी टीचर को फायर करो. R is always positive.
नहीं सर, नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव दोनों आएगा ना सर.
हाँ. अरे R is correlation coefficient between two things ना. अगर if you are finding the relationship between sales and advertisement is positive, ये पॉजिटिव होगा. प्लस और माइनस एक साथ कैसे बोलोगे? There is a baby born and you are asking gender. प्लस और माइनस करोगे या बॉय और गर्ल बोलोगे? Now
Sir,
you can go back to your class 10, class 11 wala math logic. Square root of 4 usually we have done as plus or minus 2. In that sense, Abhik was correct. But when you know the factors both are negative, हमें पता है कि दोनों negative था, so the answer has to be negative. Don't forget this. So the correlation here comes out to be negative. Am I clear? Ashish, over to you. You have got a question.
yes, sir. In this case, also the property of regression also violate, no, sir? Because byx also greater than 1.
Khushbu, address Ashish doubt. You got the Ashish doubt?
No, sir. Can you repeat the question once?
Anybody who has heard Ashish? Aliva?
Khushbu, here is the byx is also greater than 1, no, sir? It's also violating the property of the regression equation.
Oh, but then other value is less than 1.
अरे थर्ड प्रॉपर्टी आशीष ठीक से पढ़ रहे. रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट कैन बी मोर देन 1, बट हमने बोले थे अगर एक से बड़ा होगा द अदर मस्ट बी लेस देन 1. वो तो है.
Okay, it should be less than 1.
Product should be less or equal to 1.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you for asking. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now,
सर आई हैव अ डाउट.
सिमरन बोल.
सर अगर दोनों रिग्रेशन कोफिशिएंट माइनस में होगा तो हमारा आर माइनस होगा, और अगर एक माइनस एक प्लस हुआ तो?
Good. Very good question. Thank you for asking. Aliva, quote the question of Simran. Try to answer.
Sir, she asked that if both the regression are one is plus and another is minus, then what will be the R?
Can you answer?
Sir, I got it. Sir, I got it.
Aliva has not got it. You tell answer to Aliva. Simran, bol rahe.
Sir, in properties, it has been written that both should be in same sign.
Yes.
Property 2.
Thank you. Aliva, why you didn't understand the answer?
Sir, yes, I got it that both should be have.
So voltage take a low chi varsa baga. Okay. Now first bit is over. What is the second bit, Sunita Acharya?
To find the average.
How do you do?
Sir, we add it and divide by 2.
You are a fantastic student, statistics student. कुछ भी बोल देता है.
No, sir.
Solve the equation, sir.
अरे सुन तो यश को सुन सुनीत.
Yes, sir.
What he told?
Sir, can you repeat again, sir? Yes.
Solve the equation, sir.
अरे solve two equation given equation simultaneously. जो आंसर मिलेगा वही x बार y बार है. हमने बोले थे ना.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Any question on this
Sir,
question?
sir, in the sake like R square should be less than and equal to 1. If that property is...
No, you are not explaining proper way. I'm not happy. Khushbu, tell briefly within 10 seconds what is the essence of this question and the way we approached and the way we solved this question. Start. Sharada, you be a good teacher like your parents.
First we assume one statement to be.
Come closer to your microphone. Clearly, bol, जोर से बोल.
First we assume the first statement to be the regression equation of y on x. Okay. Then we found out the value of y is equal to minus 10 by 3x plus 16 by 3.
Take a break, Khushbu. What Khushbu is correctly trying to suggest, we don't have an option. आपको trial and error method में एक को assume करना है. So randomly we are taken, let the first equation be y on x. ऐसे ही लेना पड़ेगा. There is no other option. ठीक है? Continue, Khushbu.
Then from this equation, we found out the regression coefficient of y on x. Similarly, for the second equation, we find out the regression coefficient of x and y. We multiply both the coefficients, and if the resulting answer is greater than 1, then we have done something wrong and we have to change our approach. If the resulting answer is greater than 1, so next we assume the first equation again to be x on y, like the inverse of the first we did. Then again, following the same method, we find out the both regression coefficient, multiply it.
Satisfies the properties, so we are happy. Then you try to solve the questions. First bit, we have to find R. We know from property that product of two regression coefficient is R square, and you multiply both the coefficient you got by your assumption and take the square root. And there you need to remember that both the factors were in negative, so the answer has to be in negative alone. Okay, that is how we found the correlation of coefficient. Okay, and the second bit was you have to find the averages. And we had suggested that these two will be intersecting at a point. So you have to solve the given two equations.
Sir, solve, sir. X is equal to 1, y is equal to 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.